Welcome to a muzzled chat. And also, we are one with Aid. How you doing today, Aid?
Yeah, sweet as a peach, James. Thanks for having me back on again. Looking forward to it. Hope you're doing well at your side of the pond.
I appreciate that. Doing really well. Very blessed. I have my mortal human challenges as we all do, but it's a beautiful day. I like facing all these challenges now with a stronger perspective, with excitement, just challenges accepted type of mentality, right?
Right on.
It was interesting, folks, listeners. Me and Aid were seeking out initially to dive into a legal document that was created. And as we really were going through, because it's really exciting, the very content it goes over essentially exposing a bunch of evil and really deep diving into potential accountability here in the mortal life is it's obviously very exciting stuff. However, and as we dove in and it was beautifully written, just really in depth, has biblical references. It's kind of the foundation of this whole document. We kind of realized, you know what? We need to find out more as to who created this, if in fact it's been filed, where it's been filed, so we can more so back it, support it. Oh, look at that. You pulled it up right there on the screen for folks. I
While you were
love it.
talking, while you were talking, I thought I might as well bring it up so that the
So
readers, listeners can see.
can see. Yeah. So with time, once we get a little more of this information, we'd love to dive into this with you, share some of the information. And if not even for minimally, kind of a light bulb moment for, wow, why are these certain names that have been lifted up in our societies on this document potentially
So,
facing persecution? And hopefully that will trigger folk to be like, you know what? There's more information I need to understand about these individuals, and on free speech platforms that have done the research and have dove in so you can come to your own conclusions regarding these individuals for yourselves. Sorry.
would it be useful if I just read a short, brief overview
Yeah,
of what this document? Yeah, as you
yeah,
can
let's
see,
do that.
for the readers and listeners that are out there, as James has already pointed out, this is a document that's been written up by somebody, and we need to get verification, some validity to the background and the strength of this document. It was filed on the 6th day of January 2022.
Mm.
And just read you a little something. This is by Divine Light, Holy Council, Courts of Heaven, Prosecutors, Ecclesia versus the accused defendants and or enemies named herein. On behalf of all living beings on our planet Earth, in our Milky Way galaxy and our universe that are in agreement and in service to the one living true God of all creation, and in representation, with your permission, to uphold and stand for the integrity, intent, love, light, compassion, and laws of God's original creation. Known as your people, the prosecutors versus the enemies, defendants. The false darkness, demonics, Lord Maitreya, the Holy See, Cabal, Negative Alien Agenda, NAA in brackets, Negative Alien Archon Group, Negative Non-Terrestrials, et al., the Crown Corporation, City of London, in brackets, the Crown Agency of the British Empire, Inner Temple, Crown Agents, Oversee Governments and Administration, Crown Council of 13, the Vatican City, City of London, and the District of Columbia. That's the pyramid, the three sides of the pyramid that's been dismantled by the good guys, and to aid to usher the outing of the darkness. Okay, they were the three pillars that were holding the cabal's finances in place on this earth. Anyway, without me babbling, let's move on. Satan and the 12, I'm going to skip all of this. Satan and the 12 apostles of Satan, Antichrist, all thought forms of the Antichrist and negative spirits under Lucifer et al., unclean evil spirits, Babylonian systems, Babylonian brotherhood, all principalities, powers, the rulers of the darkness of this age, Nephilim, archangel archons, seraphim, fallen angels, and archangels that have fallen from God, the Creator, billions of fallen ascendant masters, interlockers, the Watchers, Council of Nine Mothers of Darkness, satanic witches and warlocks, proxy groups, Mobius Corporation, Umbrella Corporation, Monarch Group, Shorehouse Corporation, Dark Shield, Hulk Program, Scorpion Corporation, Massive, Dynamic, Cybercliff, and DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Project Association, I think that's called. Femtotech, all demonic and negative spirits as known by God, Creator, including familiar spirits, the spirit of pharmakia, pharmaceuticals, Caduceus, and Jezebel's spirit, all satanic holders, soldiers, my apologies, reptilian hybrids and other homos capensis, Luciferian satanic global elites, all Satanists involved in any way contractually with the defendants, the mark of the beast. And there's a list of other stuff that we could go into, but we're James and I are going to leave the links of these documents in the description box below. But as James already pointed out, there's a lot that needs to be verified here. It's been sent to me by a friend who I'm friends with on Truth Social, but once I've got the validity, more information, we can expand on this. One thing I wanted to read to you, which brought joy to me, my life, is the Georgia Guidestones. I don't know whether you guys saw the video when the Georgia Guidestones got exploded about 2 years ago.
Right.
I read about the Georgia Guidestones about 25, maybe about 25, 30 years ago, and I hated it. The fact that these dark forces could blatantly erect some granite stones in Georgia and print out on the granite stones to maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. I'm not going to read all of this to you guys because I'm sure the people that are fans of the movement are already familiar with the Georgia Guidestones, and we were most happy when they got exploded, when they got suicided. So yeah, we've got more to come on this document as and when, but for now we're going to get back to the original.
There's so many things that support, like it's not just the Georgia Guides, those stones. There's the Rothschilds Manifesto. There's so many other places that are in sync to that same message. It's obviously well written, in a way beautifully written, to where people were even false idling this strangely erected, stone creation. And that's where it's just like, folks, oh my gosh, like, to even kind of go back to this document and just the whole idea, everything, like, yes, we have more work to be done, but what we do know are some biblical truths. And the singular scripture that talks about, that comes to mind in kind of discussing all of this, is that our war here, our battle here, is not of flesh and blood, that it is of spirits and principalities. So I love what it's capturing here. I mean, there's nothing conspiratorial about the potential genocide that evil is trying to enact to, in fact, ensure the two-tier system, that it's rules for thee and not for me, that there's rulers and there's the ruled. That's essentially, and with this information age, it's been a blessing and a curse, but it's the greatest threat to evil in this world if we find out this type of thing, because they can't rule this amount of populace worldwide. They just can't. But you look at, like you said, with the Georgia Guidestones, 500 million. Isn't the world currently populated around like 8 billion? Billion. So that would be the genocide of 7.5 billion
correct
people. I mean, think about that. That's what they want to maintain. I mean, you even go back to some of the TED Talks and Bill Gates and how he talks about it. Like, oh, if we are effective with vaccinations, we can help, as if it's a good thing. Like we could help. He says it out loud. Through vaccinations, they essentially could achieve this healthy number worldwide. Like, what does that tell you, folks? So we need to play that clip. It literally is like he just said out loud under kind of a loving message.
It is right. It was really cute. It was really
Is
cute.
it?
If
Yeah,
we're careful, we can manage them to at least we can get the population down with good reproduction care, good
it's all
vaccinations
good. It's
for
all
babies.
good. Yeah, vaccinations. It's all good. Eradicating 7.5 billion people. Unbelievable. And what's crazy, all their graphs that they come up with, these silly graphs as to what the world can
Yeah,
maintain. We haven't even tapped into nearly what this Mother Earth can do, and not only what our God can do for us. And we're ruling out in these graphs the most important thing, the power of our own unique creative minds. So
exactly.
so the simple fact, like if there are in fact, oh, we're starting to tap X amount of water, this and that, the one thing we're not considering is these new brilliant minds that we could delete from ever being here, that they could have very well been the solution to that water issue or whatever it may be. And that's where it's just no, no. The
Well,
Bible, go ahead.
they talk about scarcity.
Yes,
Our overlords, sorry, they're
right.
wishful thinking overlords. But it turns out that the Earth can flood the Sahara. I don't know whether you've seen the floods in the Sahara recently on
Mm,
YouTube or um, there's ways, there's aquifers, and there's pools of water underneath deserts.
mm,
But they don't want us to have it because they want those deserts to be deserts for a reason. That's another story for another time. But yeah, with all of the censorship that's going on
right.
today with social media, it's very hard to find the information. But yeah, they're apparently under deserts. There are large bodies of water. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a clean, pristine water, untouched by chemicals. And
Mm,
they can also take the water from the polar regions and make the lands more manageable, farmable. These
mm.
technologies apparently are still, they've been around since the 60s, but the dark side won't allow us to have those technologies for their own nefarious reasons. The rest is history.
Yes.
We know about that.
Yes. Well, man, I'm just so excited to dive into all this because, like, my gosh, like through knowledge, through information, through all this, we can bring that kind of thing to the light and ensure, wow, let's enact this. Why we say, so we could ramp up the pressures to where we all have fresh water, we all have healthy food, we all are all thriving as best to our ability in a fallen world, right?
Talking
Um,
of which,
yeah,
the Alliance, while they were cleaning out tunnels, I don't know whether you're aware that there's a battle between good and evil, which is on the surface and in tunnels.
right,
We'll come to the reason why they use tunnels at a later stage. But
right.
during their battles with the enemy, they found something like 1 million tons of food,
Wow.
unpolluted, without chemicals inside, and they are way more nutritious than the food we get on the surface. I
Mm,
don't know. I can't validate this story, but my reports that I get, I read them on a daily basis since 2017, and
mm,
that story keeps coming up every now and again. The Alliance found millions of tons of food below the surface that will last humans something like 150 years.
mm,
This supply of food, but anyway, for people panicking about the Armageddon and shit happening in the future, don't worry about it. The Alliance have got everything all under control. In fact, evil has already been defeated. It's just
mhm,
that we have to watch
mhm.
it. They have to play it out on the television so that you and I and other normal people that don't know the truth can be fed the information at a gentle drip pace, because if the whole population was told this news all at once, we'd have riots all over the planet all at once
Right.
and civil unrest. So they've got to gently drip the information out. Anyway, back to
Well,
the, go
well,
ahead.
with that being said, Aid, we just need to drive at home how important it is people acknowledge, understand how important it is to source information in an
Mm,
information age. Because the censorship, the suppression, the shadow banning, everything that's taken place has been evil's pretty much number one attributor to really like being effective and pushing all these false narratives and creating all this division, creating all this hatred, creating all this confusion.
yeah.
And that's where it's like, man, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to get on Rumble or Getter or True Social, X, even because Elon's pretty much liberated it. There still
Yeah.
seems to be potential questionable things, but we'll see futuristically. It's just important to constantly stay aware of that. Is this a free speech platform? Telegram's another good one. Now, do you have personal experience with Facebook or censorship or anything
Yeah.
you'd like to share, like just to drive this point home?
Oh,
Otherwise,
well,
like
definitely.
yeah,
My biggest story is the reason why I'm here speaking to you today
yeah,
is because about 2016, 2017, I started becoming a fan of Donald Trump. Not a fan. I started investigating a lot more. And
right,
while I was investigating, I've been on Facebook for about 10 years at that time. So yeah, I've been on Facebook for about 10, maybe 15 years. And then Donald Trump came along and I started posting certain items. Prior to Donald Trump, actually, I had a page on Facebook called Question Everything. I questioned pharmaceuticals, I questioned makeups and cosmetics, I questioned the abortion system, I questioned pedophilia. I questioned
right.
lots of things on
Which
Question
is
Everything.
healthy to
Yeah,
question. My
yeah,
goodness.
yeah. That
Hey,
was the
hey,
whole like,
let everyone see your face. You want to take the screen share down?
oh, cool, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stop share. Thank you.
There you
Yeah,
go.
hi.
There you.
Hey.
Hey, look at his face, by the way. Look at he cleans up well, doesn't he?
Hey, beautiful
There he
people.
is.
Welcome to We Are One. It's me, ADE REID.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean it. Yeah,
So,
you were questioning everything.
yeah. So the Question Everything page was a precursor to what was about to come, because I would validate my research and then I would post it onto Question Everything. And Facebook would come back saying, this is wrong. This is incorrect. This is false. This was before fake news. This is before fact checks.
Right.
That Facebook would constantly say, no, you're lying about this. This is wrong. This is misinformation.
Wow.
And I just got annoyed with Facebook questioning everything that I put onto Question Everything. So I canceled the page, got rid of it, and I started posting on my profile. This is when Donald Trump came around. And I was finding a lot of fight back with Facebook with everything that I posted, but it was mainly about pedophilia.
Hmm.
When Donald Trump came out, a lot of stuff, information was coming out about Hollywood and people in Hollywood. And I'd get shocked, I'd verify it, do some research, and then I'd post it onto my profile. And this is when Facebook started saying, you are suspended for 3 days, you're suspended for a week, you're suspended for
That's
a month.
incredible.
That's when that all started. And I just thought I just had a fight against Facebook. I just carried on searching for more information. The more information I got, I just put it onto my profile. And eventually I got sacked from Facebook. I got banned. So I've not
Wow.
been on Facebook now since 2017. I've only just recently been allowed back on. And I'm down from 5,000 followers originally on Facebook. I'm now down to 92. But I don't
Wow.
care, because
Right.
I've now got Rumble. I tried
Yes.
YouTube. 15 channels later, I got sick of it. So I
Yep.
tried Rumble. And basically, all of the research that I did, all of the podcasters that I used to read or listen to or watch, I just put them all onto Rumble now, so that people have got a simple access point to gain access to all of that research, all of those podcasters, all in one place. You can pick and choose. So that's what brought me to here, the censorship since 2017 with Facebook. And now on Truth Social, X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm also on Getter. They call it Getter.
Yeah, yeah.
Anon Up for Truth Anons, and something else. Can't remember it right now, but it's all. Oh, you ought to see. I've got millions of bookmarks where I get my research from. But yeah, that's where we are today. That's the reason why I went to Rumble. It's because I got sick of somebody telling me what's true and what's not. I can do that myself. I can decide for myself. My readers can decide for themselves. That's the whole point of being inquisitive.
Well, to you, all you family folk out there, all you folk that are believers and or just have good hearts and you care for your fellow man, like you should see the endless amount of information, even documentaries that have been created about Facebook, what have you, and how. I mean, it's incredibly unbelievable to hear what you're talking about, and you were sharing sources about pedophilia, trying to expose the light so we could correct the issue. So you're bringing about it like, wow, we let's help fix this. Just like I'm trying to bring awareness to Lyme disease and all these other, like, that's good. That's good. And Facebook actively was like, nope, we're gonna throttle this man. We're gonna ban this man. We're gonna cut out this man. Well, there's all this other information out there that shows Facebook, in fact, is allowing pedophilia and these connections to be had, like communications to be had. So they're allowing. So guys, you are supporting a platform that is allowing pedophilia.
Exactly.
And they're stopping men that are trying to expose it in a good sense, so we could do accountability, we could limit the outreach of these evil doers. Like, guys, you're supporting that. You cannot sweep that under the rug. You cannot just put a conspiracy theorist label on that. Like, do your research. There's many people that have already done the heavy lifting. The information's there. It's a few clicks away. It's through Rumble, it's through Getter, it's through these other platforms that have been demonized by mainstream media, calling extreme right, there's a reason. There's a reason why they're putting all these fancy labels on these things. But if you don't do your due diligence, then you're not going to understand. You're just staying ignorant, and you're supporting the very companies and tyrannical companies that are having this evil impact on our world. So, I mean, why is Unmuzzled trying to be on these platforms and probably soon to be banned on YouTube and Facebook with messages like this? Because we could still have a positive impact on bringing over. I mean, there's nothing more I would like to shut these places down and basically now have everyone support, the free speech ones. But, we don't want to do anything tyrannical, but obviously through legal means, this potentially could even be done, because we don't want to allow, like, we say that's illegal. We won't allow that in our society on an individual level. So why are we letting it happen on this big platform, right? It's
agreed. Amen.
So
what I found, though, since I've been with Rumble, I've been able to express myself a lot easier. I don't feel like I'm chained anymore to what I can and what I can't say. So coming over to Rumble, I think it was over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I've been, let's say, liberated after 15 attempts on YouTube. One of my greatest channels was about 5,000 people. And as soon as I started mentioning that, being a bit more risky with the truth, then 1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes, you're gone. And then channel number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 15. Like I said, I got bored with that. And I've been on I've had 3 channels now on Rumble, and not 1 strike, not 1 complaint. Even with the music, we talked about the music, which is a separate issue you and I can speak of. But I've not had no issues with Rumble whatsoever in a year and a half, maybe 2 years I've been there now. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Were you talking about the evil infiltration with
Mm.
music and Hollywood and all that. Is that what you're kind of touching on there?
Wow, that was, yeah, that's really. I'm just going to share my screen again. I hope you don't mind.
Nope, go for it.
Can you see? Did I share it? Share.
Not yet.
Whoops.
It's all
Pressing the
right.
wrong button.
I'll just give you some background music to.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Oh, I
Thank you,
clicked the
people.
wrong
Here we
one.
go. Share screen and some lovely background music.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate the Zoom recording blocks this out, that AI. Maybe I could turn off that feature in the future, but
I actually heard it earlier when you offered the intro. I could hear it.
was it muffled though?
A gobbly kind of
Yes.
version.
Yeah,
So
probably.
yeah, the entertainment industry, they've been listed in here, as you can see. Facebook,
Yes.
Entertainment, TV, Group Inc., MTV, Internet Games. They definitely need to be looked into, Internet Games, because that corrupts the mind hugely, I reckon. Mainstream media, social media, the Rome-owned media, or media and artists that intentionally created false and demonic art and productions. NBC, Viacom, CBS, Fox, Netflix, Comcast Corporation, AT&T, Sprint Corporation, Charter Communications, Thomson Reuters, Dish Network, The Bottom Line News Corp, Time Warner, journalists, reporters, Fleet Street, newspapers, blah, blah, yada, 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 Def
Hey,
Jam
do you know
Records.
what you and I need to do?
Uh-huh.
We need to become so darn good and
Yeah,
entertaining and hopeful and positive and building to where people could be excited to tune into this and kick things off. And do you know a simple call to action we could do? Cancel
go.
your Netflix. Cancel it, folks. And support our Patreon or our, let's just Cash App or Venmo or something. Like, give us the opportunity for that 14 $15, whatever it is a
We
month
strongly need
for your
support.
Netflix. We need the
Yeah,
support so we can get the real news behind in the teams and the editors, and we could combat. And that's why I love Stu Peters and what his team has been doing with all these documentaries with the died
yeah,
suddenly, these little ones. I mean, they're putting tons of money and energy and time into these very effective. Now, it would be nice to do it in a way that's a little more positive, right? On a because the reality of it is, like, so many Christians will say, well, we know who wins in the end, and it's not even about winning or losing. It's been
mm,
written. We know the infrastructure, we know the design of being here, and
yeah,
there's not a more important thing to engage in and entertain ourselves with in our downtime. Even, it doesn't have to be a doom and gloom. It can be an exciting thing that we all can support each other
yeah,
and get behind. And there's not more, I'm telling you, like, a fulfilling thing to engage in than when you start tapping into this kindness and love and unity and ensuring a better tomorrow for ourselves and our little ones. And I'm
uh-huh.
telling you, your subscriptions on Netflix are not doing that. It's so evil. They're putting the 2% of people with gender ideology confusion and the limelight. They're giving them front center stage on everything.
Everything.
Everything. You're being
Uh,
manipulated. Your children are being manipulated. And it's not to our betterment. This is creating a weak, intentionally weak, self-serving
Society.
uh, society. And it's so evil and detrimental
It's
to our
pervasive as
future.
well. I could see this 30 years ago. It's what
Yeah.
put me off. It's what put me off television 30 years ago. I'm 56 now. So yeah, I started reading when I was around 26. And came away from television around about the same time. So for about 30 years, I've been watching the drip pollution of music, filmmaking, um,
Right.
and the dark forces coming into everything that we see, even into Disney. You see the
Yes.
dark forces and magic being in the colors and symbolism in Disney, but I didn't pay much attention until 30 years ago when I started reading. I started to analyze everything and see everything in a completely different light. It's even Disney. So yeah, for 30 years I've been watching the pollution of society,
Yeah.
and the dismantling of values. So I
Yes.
totally agree with where you're coming from. Totally agree.
Man. Well, I sure hope we can. I mean, that's why I'm just so excited what we could achieve together, Aid. I really feel we're on the same page and it is a selfless journey. And I mean, we just all have everything to gain, right? And
I think together we're a strong force. I'm so glad I bumped into you. But I think it was God's will that brought us
amen.
together. To be fair,
Yeah, I feel the same. Well, oh my gosh. Is there anything you want to dive a little more into today? We are only 30 minutes in, but I mean, guys, bear with us. Like we were intentional today to dive into that document, but when it came down to it, it's like, you know what? There's more research to be had here, and we're excited to do that. Um, and we're excited to get a little more organized and get more solid content, but we can't we can't necessarily lose out on the opportunity of, being on the opposite sides of the globe or world, right? And um having this opportunity to just be raw, be open, be transparent to the listeners,
uh-huh.
and we're open to feedback. If there's certain topics, if there's certain things like I was telling Aid before this kicked off. I don't know if you heard that expression before, but it can be overwhelming. I actually liked one of the comments she referenced. There's a lot of tentacles to the octopus,
Yeah,
but a kind of simple phrase is just like, how do you eat an elephant? It's just one bite at a time. So it would really be awesome to do more integration of connecting the dots, just making it simple and little calls to action. And guys, I sure hope we can go about it in a way that excites people, that feeds them, and more so in a positive light than like this doom and gloom. Because gosh darn it, we're all visiting. Let all this material, like, it's nice to have things. We need to ensure a roof over our head and food on the table, especially for our families. But other than that, there's not a more important thing to do than find our happiness, our health, our peace, why we're here, what we can do for one another, right?
totally agreed. Totally agreed. Amen. Um, if for anybody that's listening out there, watch any of the videos that I load up onto Rumble, unbeknownst to you all, I do read from Operation Disclosure. This is the daily reports that I get. They don't report on a Saturday or a Sunday, but from Monday to Friday, they bring me these reports, and it tells me everything that's going on with the military,
Hmm.
the alliance between the alliance and the bad guys. It gives me news reports on white hats and how they've been arranging to set up the new financial system, the GCR, the global currency reset, so that every nation's currencies are on a one-to-one with each other. The British pound will be the same as $1, and the $1 will be the same as one dinar in Iraq, and one dinar will be the same as one bolivar, and etc. etc. So I get my reports from Operation Disclosure, official.com. There, I also get my reports from the US military news, which, if I click on there, should be able to give you some information what it looks like. Looks pretty similar to Restored Republic. They all get their information or intel from similar places. But
Right.
apparently, allegedly, these reports are fed to us, we simple people, anons, people that are suspicious or curious. I get my reports from there. If that helps any of the readers, viewers, listeners. That was it, really. Just wanted to share that with you.
The
Where's the
extreme value aid that you're bringing to the table, my goodness, I would even challenge all of your followers, all of your listeners up to this point, because frankly, you've been doing this a lot longer than I have, my man. I've just
well?
been doing it in my personal walk up to this point and not fighting back with fire, essentially, with this information age. There was a reason, like you, I more so lived in reality to an extent versus this digital era. But
uh,
in order to move the needle in the right direction effectively enough, we need to fight fire with fire. So this has been their most effective tool, and that's why they've gotten to a point of kind of tyrannically ruling all those major social medias. But the alternate has now been taking off in strides. And
huge.
yeah, people just need to see that. Like Dan Bongino, for example, like his live stream to his episodes now is larger than the overall viewership of like a big mega platform like CNN, not to
It's
mention
crazy,
the
isn't it?
millions of views he's getting.
It
But his
is
live
crazy.
stream, it's
I
it's
found
beautiful.
I
Yeah,
found out recently that Tucker Carlson, when he was on Fox, he
yeah.
was pulling in 2, maybe 3 million a night.
Wow,
As soon as he as soon as he went onto Twitter, Tucker on Twitter, I think it was 15 million he
wow,
had in one night
wow.
compared to 3 million. 15 million on Twitter, 3 million on Fox. No brainer. I know who I'd like to work for.
Right. That's so awesome.
So
So all the
the
yes,
power that he's got, Tucker's got such a huge following. As soon as he
yeah.
left Fox, yeah, he's got like what 5 times more viewers on Twitter now X than he did, but then when he was on Fox. So I don't know about that, but I think that's huge for independent media. Definitely huge.
Right. Well, guys, listeners from all ends of the spectrum, help us help you. Help us ensure a better tomorrow by following, by sharing, by liking, by even commenting. Let's create the community chat here to where
Uh,
we can set down our weapons and agree to disagree and have mutual respect for one another, no matter where you're at on your religious journey, no matter what aisle politically you're affiliated or aligning with, because at the end of the day, it's all a construct, right?
mm,
We're two living beings. Let's set it down. Let's communicate like adults and show respect for each other. And that's what we're trying to achieve over here on Unmuzzled. So for AIDS listeners, like we're trying to effectively have the conversations on from all this, to set it down and move the needle in the right direction, showing that we can have these conversations. And not just that, have personal testimonials as to, wow, people that are living these brilliant lives. What is your kind of priority list to achieve that, whether it's
mm.
through the spiritual realm, whether it's biblical, whether it's your fitness, health, nutrition, relational, emotional status, just kind of we're trying to like lay out all the tools so people can just be like start implementing things in their lives to achieve the best version of themselves, because we need you, we need all the listeners, we need the best version of you.
Amen.
And we want to build you up, we want to see that, we want to achieve that together. If you feel on fire and you want to be here on Unmuzzled, reach out. We had issues with the email, but obviously there's these other social media platforms you can DM and direct message, and we'd be happy to do host interviews and have you on as well. That's what it's about. It's just a community. Everyone has their own special, unique talent, and we want to tap into all that to ensure a better tomorrow.
Bring us all together. That'll be fantastic. Awesome.
Right. Yeah. Just fulfill the name of your platform right there. We are all one.
We are one.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I I'm excited. I know we didn't quite know what we were really going to run with, but Aid, there is power here because you're doing all the collection of everything, the amount, and you're not just like you said earlier, it'd be easy to fill this full of material. There's so much material, but you're selectively going out and intentionally finding, you're connecting the dots already with the We Are One. So that's amazing. Like together, I think we could support in a positive light. I'm getting excited to the point I'm stumbling over words. I'm telling you what.
No, I totally agree with you, James. And just for the readers, listeners, viewers that are out there, I'm going to be, James and I are going to be doing our darndest to get some
Yes.
validity on these documents
Yes.
that I lightly touched on earlier. There's a massive information in just this one document. There's 21 pages there. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 documents all in total. The last one is infographic, as you can see. But yeah, I'm going to try and get some validity, some meat and veg to this document for the next time that James and I get together. So for that, yeah, we'll get that all sorted for the next chat meetings. Thank you for your patience in advance.
Aid, I'm so excited. We'll get it. I appreciate your time. If you don't mind, hang on that line. I'm
Sweet.
just going to do a quick send off. Listeners, thank you so much. We love you. We want to support you and champion you to ensure a better tomorrow. Please share, follow. Let's create this community and let's do just that. Bless you so much. Have a lovely day. 1 second here.